Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I'm the Gothic Rose, and this is the dark tale of the day. Let me take this moment to reintroduce myself. I am the Gothic Rose, hostess of the Dark Entertainment Network. This is a channel where the news meets conspiracy theories and makes babies in my brain, and it comes out my mouth. I do this because I enjoy it. If you like this type of content, please follow along, because I'm not going to stop. Welcome, fiends of the Den. As you know, I have been following the story of Wendy Williams, who has recently just signed papers to end her guardianship. But as we do here at the Dark Entertainment Network, we look for the odd in the situation. Do you remember when Wendy Williams ate the crow? Well, according to folklore, that is a very bad omen, so let's dive into it from folklore perspective. Just recently, Harvey Levin of TMZ had an interview with Wendy Williams. She was not allowed to leave the assisted living facility that she is in on the 5th floor of what looks like a Midtown Manhattan building. And she said that she had only been allowed outside twice in 30 days. And she's living with 80 and 90-year-olds, no iPad, no internet, just a phone, seemed like a landline, and a TV and a radio. She said no one can call her, but she can call out. So she recently, very, very recently, January 16th, 2025, Wendy Williams called the Breakfast Club podcast and spoke with Charlemagne the God. Now, he had said, "You're calling me like 4 or 5 times a week by this point," and she was there discussing everything about her conservatorship and the whole situation that she's in. She said that she feels trapped, and she described her living conditions as restrictive, and she said she felt like she was in a prison. She said that she felt very isolated in a small room with limited sunlight and minimal interaction with each others. She had medication concerns. Now, she revealed that nursemaids give her pills, but she's only taken 2 pills in her entire life, and she can only make outgoing calls, no internet, no incoming calls. And she also disclosed her financial struggles, that she has limited financial resources with only $15 to her name. And the thing that killed me the most is that her beloved cats were taken away from her without her knowledge. And she said to Harvey Levin that these cats were twins that she had since they were kittens. And I'm sure those poor cats are looking for her everywhere. She said that she wanted to go to her father's 94th birthday, which I believe she was granted permission by what she calls the guardian person, who granted her a 48-hour pass to go see her father. Which, if you're supposed to be helping someone through a hard time, why are you locking them away? She did also say that she had proof that this guardian person, as she kept referring to them, was making money off of her. She was earning financially off of her. So it's amazing, because here she is talking and lucid. And Harvey Levin asked her the question we all probably needed to hear. He said, "Do you know that Donald Trump is the president of the United States?" And she said, wait, that makes him the 47th president of the United States. She said, "Just take the 4 years and let's move on with someone in his 50s, in their 50s. I'm paraphrasing, but when she said he's the 47th president, she's here with us. She knows what is going on. And the more people that speak to that fact, the closer she will be to freedom." This documentary included her niece, who really is going to bat for Wendy, and her friend Rosanna Scotto, and I don't want to give you any more spoilers. Go check out Tubi. It's a free app. All you have to do is put in your email and you have access to every TV show, documentary, and movie. That is not a paid advertisement, by the way. I just highly recommend it. So the New York Post, and you know my love of the New York Post for New York City news and gossip, really has great in-depth reporting on anything that goes on in that city. So it says here, Wendy Williams signs legal document to end guardianship, medical evaluation set next week. Now, we can only hope that they will change this diagnosis. It says here, and the article was written by Whitney Vasquez, it says Wendy Williams has taken the next step in her battle for freedom. The former talk show host, 60, signed an affidavit on Wednesday afternoon asking a judge to end her guardianship. This is, of course, according to TMZ. Sources told the outlet that Williams claims she regained the capacity to function without her court-ordered guardian, Sabrina Morrissey. This is the first publication to name who the guardian is, who has been in charge of her well-being and finances since 2022. So insiders also shared that Wendy Williams will allegedly be reevaluated by a doctor next Tuesday, adding that the physician was handpicked by Wendy's legal team, whom she hired to end her guardianship. Her lawyers will then allegedly file an emergency order due to force the judge to look into ending the years-long guardianship. Williams' attorneys reported already have a plan in place if the judge turns down the request, with sources telling TMZ that Wendy will demand a jury trial to hear her plea. So the Post has reached out to Wendy Williams' lawyers, with one declining to comment. Her other attorney, Jason Atlas, responded that everyone in the case has Wendy's best interests at heart, and we all expect that the ultimate outcome will be in line with those best interests. I can only hope. Now, to get to the part where the den comes in with what I do here, I am mixing a bit of folklore. So if you're a Wendy fan, you know what I'm saying? You may remember when Kanye West and Kim Kardashian got married. It was May 24th, 2014, and Wendy Williams made a bet that this marriage would not last 2 years, and she said that she would eat crow. So what she did in about a 5-minute long segment on September 15th, 2024, is she ate crow. She had a chef cook and prepare some crow for her. So crows can bring both good and bad omens, and I know that many people like to have crows come visit them. I am one of those people. If you are like me, we should talk about that, but the crow holds such a significance in so many traditions and folklore. So let's start with Native American folklore. Crows are often seen as symbols of transformation and change. Some tribes believe that crows have the power to communicate with humans and that they serve as messengers between the physical and spiritual worlds. They are also seen as tricksters in some Native American stories, using their intelligence to outsmart others. In Norse mythology, the god Odin had 2 ravens, Hugin, thought, and Munin, memory, who would fly around the world and bring back information. While not exactly crows, these ravens share many characteristics and are often associated with wisdom and knowledge. So as we can see, the crow is looked at as wise and very important in all of these mythologies. Like in Greek mythology, crows were associated with the god Apollo. Legend has it that crows were originally white, but turned black after bearing bad news to Apollo, who was so enraged he scorched their feathers. And in Japanese folklore, crows are seen as symbols of good luck and are associated with the sun deity Amaterasu. And if you have never heard the tale of Amaterasu, she hid away her beauty from the world until someone showed her a mirror, and then the sun came out because of her beauty. The Yatagarasu, the three-legged crow, is a mythical creature said to be a divine messenger and guide. In Celtic mythology, the Celts saw crows as omens of death and war. They believed that crows could predict the outcome of battles and were often associated with the war goddess Morrigan, who could transform into a crow. And in English folklore, crows are sometimes seen as the harbingers of death or bad luck. There's a famous legend involving the Tower of London, which states that if the resident crow ever leaves, the kingdom will fall, and that is definitely something to look into here in the den. Now let's get to the phrase eating crow, which is, of course, more figurative than literal. And it means you are admitting you've made a mistake and you are humbling yourself. So there is no curse of the crow. There is no reason that that particular event on her show caused any damage to what was going on. That was not spiritual at all, but purely human. As you can see, she has people on her side, but her battle has been very long and very trying. So while that moment stuck out in my mind as something that could have been an omen that maybe started some of this bad luck, there is no proof of that whatsoever. So thank you for joining me as I speak about Wendy Williams and also debunk that eating actual crow is bad for you and bad for your luck.